Hello, everybody out there on YouTube. Once again, it's the three middle-aged guys, and we are bullshit about nothing. Actually, we are bullshitting about what we didn't like about E3. Before we get to that, let's get the introductions out of the way. I am the Reverend.
The theme here.
And Gray Mouse 1.
Yes, this is going to be our video where we talk about the things that we did not like about the E3 press conferences. We have another video that we put up earlier that discusses all the things that had us absolutely gushing like schoolgirls. We did the whole fanboy thing. Now, in this particular video, this is the one where we end up being the scathing asshole critics that I know we can be. And believe me, in comparison, we're actually being nice because we're not being paid for this. So, gentlemen, before I start monopolizing the time, the floor is open. What do you have to get off your chest?
What I didn't like about E3 2016 was E3 2016. No, okay. Listen. Oh, God. EA, first of all, fuck EA, all right? There's absolutely nothing that they announced, as far as I know, that was gripping or deserved attention. Fuck Madden. fuck Madden. I can't wait until that NFL license is over. I didn't like the Assassin's Creed movie conversation. I didn't like that because it's not a game. Yes, it has everything to do with the game. So now if you see the movie and you see disconnections from the movie and the game, that's just fucked up. It's like, no, all right? They're trying to put some legitimacy as far as saying, oh, yeah, we made a movie about the game, so it's going to be about the game. It better be at this point. Microsoft announcing controllers, announcing the Slim, and then the Scorpio. The Scorpio just put the Slim to shit to me. To me, that doesn't make any sense. You're going to, okay, the Slim, yeah, the Scorpio. Wait. So why should I get a Slim then? That's the way I felt about that. Because it's, okay, I'm going to get a Slim and a Scorpio? Fuck no. You might as well make the Scorpio into the fucking Slim. How big is the Scorpio going to be at this point?
Well,
is it going to be a different model? Is it going to be bigger than the Xbox One?
I've got my thoughts on that, but I'll let you guys go because, like I said, I could go on in length about that shit.
So. And Nintendo. It was all about Zelda. It was all about Pokemon. Yes, they had their little announcements in between, but they didn't bring out enough. And of course, I'm disappointed for my wish list not coming true. Power Stone 3, Rival Schools 3, another Darkstalkers. Yes, I'm a fighting game junkie. It's just, damn it. I can't think of anything else at the top of my head as far as what I didn't like, but that was most of it.
What about you, Gray Mouse? What are some of the things that stuck with you wrong with the E3 press conferences?
I have to agree with the theme. My top gripe was EA, just how piss poor they did. I'm tired of Madden. They had Madden ever since the mid to late 90s. And
actually, before that, it was...
Even before that, it's just...
Genesis.
It's getting...
Late 80s.
It's getting tired. And, I'm not really interested in FIFA, but there are those in the European countries that are. Football, like they call it, is actually more of a popular sport over there. So I can understand a little bit why they enjoy, the FIFAs. Especially, I was in Japan, and FIFA's pretty big there. They, every arcade that we went in, there was always somebody playing that game, FIFA, whatever year particular it was. But for me, soccer is just not my thing. So I was completely, and that I think they wasted a little bit too much time on that. What was it that single player campaign, the journey, I guess. I think that was kind of out of place.
Oh, for FIFA.
Yes, that's what I was talking about. And then if I was going to go on to Ubisoft, that the way they opened up, that just
you didn't like the
I mean, I understand the reason why they did that. They wanted to in their own way do their thing, for the victims in Orlando. Okay, got that.
That wasn't only it. It was for a game.
No, I know,
Come
but
on,
I'm talking about
Just Dance. How are they going to put that on the PC?
They've got the fucking Vive now,
Oh God!
and you can. I believe the Kinect is a USB connector, so they could use that also.
People still have those. Sorry to interrupt, Gray Mouse.
I'd also have to say Eagle Flight was ridiculous. Sorry, I'm not on board with that. The Assassin's Creed movie, that was not the place or the time to bring that up at a game conference. Just the overall, I mean, there were some good things that Ubisoft did, don't get me wrong, but there's a lot of things that really ticked me. I mean, it's like a 2-hour conference, and I did like the interaction with them sitting on the couch, but I think that should have kind of been held off of the main stage after the event. That should have happened there. So to go on to Xbox, I don't understand.
Xbox or Microsoft?
It's the same now.
Okay. Not much Xbox.
Xbox, Microsoft. I don't understand why they did they announced one character for Killer Instinct. That's weird to me.
But it's like, ROM.
Yeah, I was like, okay, where's the other characters? I don't know.
Already there.
Maybe because they're in the middle of the season 3, and they should have announced all of season 3's characters. Quite frankly, in my opinion.
And now, wait a minute. If you got Street Fighter V coming out with more characters than KI, something is definitely wrong with that.
I don't have a thing for Forza. I mean, I have nothing against it, but that's just not my thing. So I wasn't really impressed with that. And then the trying to put the PC on the Xbox thing, it's starting to kind of get a little bit crazy. I understand what they're trying to do. Microsoft has quote unquote untapped stuff or untapped potential for trying to bring the PC people onto the Xbox and Xbox people onto the PC. I mean, it seems, I don't know, that's just their direction. And I don't think that Xbox is going to have a console per se anymore. I think we're going to see more and more things with Microsoft doing the Xbox One and PC exclusive thing. You're going to start seeing that all the time. And I think the console exclusives are going to be, few and far between.
I'm going to add on to that. If you have all this stuff going to Windows 10, then why the fuck should I buy your console? To me, that makes no sense. If you don't have anything exclusive to go on your console, then I'm going to totally ignore your console. It won't make sense for me to get it. Especially if you have shit going to Steam. At the same time, it's all the Xbox exclusives I can have on my PC. Then I'm done there. All I would need is a PlayStation 4 and a Nintendo console to compensate everything else.
Well, I think...
Especially if everything on the damn Xbox console is going to work on my PC anyway.
That's play everywhere.
Including the HoloLens and the HTC Vive. No, that doesn't make any sense. The only thing are Halo games, not Halo War games, Halo games. That's the only thing that's left that's not being ported over to the PC. Unless it comes later on. And it's like, damn it. I don't know. What the hell are they doing? They want to focus on the console by bringing out new consoles, but they're not focusing on the console when it comes to games and exclusives on the console. That doesn't make any sense to me. If Nintendo did that, if Nintendo allowed shit to go on PC, they'd be done. No one would buy a Nintendo console. Everybody was like, hey, I already have a PC. I'm going to just buy the Nintendo games there. So for me, it's the same concept. Sony shit, too. Sony shit doesn't go on PC. Wonder why?
There's some stuff that does.
Well, of course, but that's other. If you have first party, Sony Computer Entertainment is going to concentrate for Sony systems. Nintendo is going to concentrate on Nintendo systems. Microsoft, on the other hand, yes, they have Windows. But what about your Xbox? You have to have a lot of shit for the Xbox in order for us to come into command with that that only. That's
not going to happen.
And that's what.
I mean, it is what it is. That's the vision that Microsoft is doing. Is that they're trying to get PC people onto the console, but I'm telling you, it's going to happen more and more often. That there's going to be almost zero, like it is now, zero console exclusives, and that's just the way. That's just the direction that that Microsoft is going. But to their defense, it's easier to. Or it's cheaper to buy an Xbox console than it is to build your own computer at $800 to $1,000 to build your computer, and it's cheaper to just buy an Xbox One at $399 or $299 if it plays the same games. I'm not saying that, but that's one thing that they're focusing on, and I'm not saying it's the right thing.
My main objection to that is simple. If you build a powerful enough PC, it's going to last like 2 or 3 gaming generations.
So is a console.
Xbox One's pretty much done as far as their gaming generation because you got the Scorpio. A lot of people are counting.
I don't consider Scorpio as the next generation. I still think that's part of the same generation. It's just an upgraded system. But
PC is still going to be more powerful in it. Than that.
We can get but we can get into that.
That's my initial point, because if you're trying to say that, okay, this is a cheaper route, but wait a minute, people are going to go for the best route, well, especially when it comes to, okay, wait a minute, why should I get that when I already can build shit that's better than that and have games?
The way I see it is that Nintendo, Jesus Christ, Xbox, Microsoft is Microsoft Windows and Xbox One, they are synonymous with each other. And what the way that they're going about it is that, just like you said earlier, Theme, you got a cheaper route and you got a more expensive route. And anybody who thinks that the Xbox Scorpio is going to be under $900 has another thing coming, especially with the specs that it's going to be rocking or supposedly rocking.
Sony did something this stupid.
They can't.
What if Sony? No. You didn't let me finish. What if Sony has a TV that you can buy and plug controllers in to replace the PS4 or to be compatible with it?
Well, I understand.
So you have a choice between a PS4 and a TV that has PS4 specs and PS4 compatibility.
They do. They call it Sony TV, don't they?
No. I'm talking about an actual television.
I know what you're talking about.
You plug your shit in or you sync your controller to.
Like I said before, Microsoft's in a unique position to where it would kind of make sense that they're bringing in the PC side of things. Now, with Sony and PC and Nintendo and PC, that's not going to work. It's really not. You
buy Nintendo consoles to play Nintendo shit on.
If anybody has that elasticity in order to do that, it would be Microsoft, or the flexibility, better word, to do that would be Microsoft. And I did a video way back in November about the CEO of Microsoft saying that this is what's going to happen, and it's happening. I mean, it's like I said, or like you said, you know, the console is going to be a cheaper version of the Microsoft platform. Now, we could go on about this, but I still got some more things to complain about with Microsoft. The clubs on Xbox Live, I think that's ridiculous. Looking for a group, I think that's ridiculous. Like an arena type thing on Xbox Live, I think that's okay, being that it's not the greatest, but at least like-minded individuals can fill these arenas or whatever and play, you know, Call of Duty or it helps bring in the like-minded people for that. But they should not really announce that in the time span that they spent on announcing all these features. They could have announced 2 or 3 more games or shown 2 or 3 more trailers of future games. So that should have, again, you know, I complain that with Ubisoft. They should have taken that out and just talked about it after the conference. You know, well, Phil Spencer and what's his name will sit there, and I can't think of his name right now.
Major Nelson?
Yeah, Major Nelson. There you go. Off the side, you know, after the conference. So we did enough Xbox. For me, PlayStation 4, I did like that they had a, what's it called, an orchestra at the beginning. That was awesome. But it just went on way too fucking long. 5 to 6 minutes of a song. Come on, we're not here for a concert. We're here for games.
Understood.
When the curtain lifted up and everybody saw that disembodied voice of, you know, Kratos, like, yes, okay, now we go.
See, but that was the point at the beginning. That was the point of the symphony being there.
No, yeah, I understand that, but it was just too fucking long.
I agree. It should have been 2-3 minutes tops.
I wished, I wish that there was a little bit. I wish there was. It's nice to have a announcement or a release date for The Last Guardian, but you did not show any. All you shown was fucking a trailer. Give us gameplay on this. With the I guess the Final Fantasy 15 VR experience, I was totally disengaged with that. It was just not for me. No, I didn't like that. I mean, the only thing in the VR that I would give a little bit of props was for the Batman Arkham, but we didn't see anything. All we heard was Mark Hamill's voice, you know. So, okay, the Star Wars Battlefront X-Wing, 1 mission. Are you fucking kidding?
Yeah, that better not be just one fucking mission.
No. And then I guess my final gripe for PlayStation 4.
What, you're just going to go to the Death Star and destroy it and that's it?
Pretty much. But the one...
Wait, it's going to be the Death Star, the Battle of Hoth, and Endor. That's pretty much... Or they're going to throw the prequel... Wait, so are they going to throw the pod racing in there?
I hope not. What was I saying? The Final Fantasy 15 VR experience. Like I said, I was totally disengaged with that. I was kind of they brought back Crash. Okay, they brought 1, 2, 3 back. I was kind of hoping that they would go on with it again, like we said at the beginning, you know, at our wish list. All right, go ahead, man.
Go ahead.
No, I'm done. No, I'm done. Go ahead.
All right.
I'm done.
All right. Yeah. Okay. You sure?
Yeah, I'm done.
All right. Okay. I only watched major conferences, so I don't have anything to say about EA or Bethesda or Activision or Ubisoft. And yeah, from what I'm hearing, I'm not missing anything. Right. My biggest gripes, although Microsoft surprised me by actually giving me reasons to give a damn about their console, actually raised some really big concerns with me as far as what they had announced. My laundry list isn't very long, but I'll try to keep this brief. Microsoft Xbox One S. Okay, before I even get that far, exclusive to the Xbox One and Windows 10. Shut the fuck up, all right? I don't fucking care. I heard it the first time. All right, you didn't have to say it 16 more times during the fucking conference, all right? Then they went ahead and they officially announced the Xbox One S, the Slim, and they said that it was going to be available in 3 configurations. a 500 gigabyte configuration at $299, a 1 terabyte at $349, and a 2 terabyte at $399, which brings up 3 points of contention for me, because I was talking with other people about this offline. Number one, a 2 terabyte hard drive is not that fucking expensive. All right. You can't convince me that it's going to fucking qualify an extra $100 on your fucking price. Okay. That's number one. Number two, if there are multiple configurations where it's different capacities and shit like that, that means that the hard drive can be swapped out in and out. So why are you fucking locking me out of that capability, Microsoft? Really, what's stopping you from allowing us to go ahead and actually swap it in and out ourselves? All right. Number three, the third point of contention that I have on it is that if their limited edition 2 terabyte Microsoft Xbox One S is going to be $400, if the Scorpio, which they announced later on, and you guys touched on it a little bit, is approximately 4 times more powerful than this particular system that they're offering at $400. I kind of see why they didn't mention anything about a manufacturer suggested retail price, and that Phil Spencer has been doing press conferences all fucking E3 week trying to convince people that it's a good idea to buy the fucking Slim. All right, because here's the thing with the Scorpio. It's not going to be as small as the Xbox One S. It's probably going to be as big as the original Xbox, and it's probably going to have an external power brick. Because if you have that much power under the hood and you don't have a full-size case to allow for proper airflow, it's going to create a shitload of heat. Not only that, but I cannot imagine seeing that particular console actually being released out anywhere under $800.
For the specs that's on it?
Just going by the ballpark of the specs that they have. Because the thing is that it's not a 980 Ti right now is still $300 fucking dollars. Okay, and that's already the last generation card because they just announced the 1070 and 1080 Ti's. All right, the graphical processor that they're saying that's supposed to be on Scorpio is roughly an equivalent to a 980 Ti because it'll actually allow you to game in close to fuller spec at 4K. Even with the 980 Ti full settings at 4K, it's you make the card chugs. It works. All right. But like I said, that card, which is already last generation as far as video processors goes, that's still $300. You can't tell me that this new console with all the fucking bells and whistles, with the upgraded RAM, the upgraded processor, and everything else is going to show up at less than $800. I don't see it happening. Okay.
This is going to be the Halo 6 console.
Well, it's going to be whatever the fuck it's going to be. At that price, it's not going to be mine. That's just the truth of the matter. Okay. Yeah. So Microsoft has to concern themselves with that. Okay. The other thing that I really didn't like about their particular press conference can be pretty much be summed up in one word: Minecraft. Fuck that portion of the presentation. Fuck your presenters too, because that was just mind-numbingly stupid. Really.
Didn't they do that last year with the HoloLens?
Yes, but the thing is that at least with the person who was doing it that time, you only had one jackass on stage going ahead pantomiming to what was he's supposedly seeing on the HoloLens. On this time, you had 2 assholes on stage being joined by John Carmack. Well, maybe 3 assholes reading really bad dialogue off of fucking teleprompters, trying to act like they were fucking playing the game. Absolutely horrible. Absolutely horrible. All right. That was probably
the funniest thing about that was they were doing it on tablets. I'm like, wait a minute, what do you? It had nothing to do with the console.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, I could go on in length about the Windows 10 thing, you know, exclusive for Xbox One and Windows 10. I can go on about that in length, but I won't. Let's move on to the second major conference, the Sony conference. Sony, by and large, was rather impressive because they showed off a lot of games. And I'm kind of glad that they had something to show as far as what they were offering for VR. But if you really think about what they were offering for VR, like you guys touched on, there was not a lot there. All right. Star Wars Battlefront is known as a third-person shooter where you're running around as a single unit outside of fucking vehicles majority of the time. So you're telling me that your job to convince me to buy your $400 piece of equipment is to say that there is one fucking mission I can play. Batman Arkham VR showed absolutely nothing. There was absolutely fucking nothing. All right. The only thing that showed absolutely that gave us even less than an idea what it was going to be about was fucking the trailer for Death Stranding. All right, okay. And I'm glad that Kojima is back to making games, but that trailer told us absolutely fucking nothing. Okay, other than the fact that Norman Reedus was in there. But back to VR, like I said, Final Fantasy 15. I see what you did, Sony. You let Microsoft go ahead and show their Final Fantasy 15 gameplay footage an hour before you did, just so that you can come up, chuckle on stage, and say, "Oh, we got VR too." All right, and all it looked like really was a horrible first-person shooter.
Oh.
Yeah, Sid has a nice pair of tits, but it looked like a horrible first-person shooter. All right, and on to the last major conference, Nintendo. A lot of Zelda, which I love. Zelda is actually going into a new direction and everything else, and I have to say that what I've saw it exceeded all of my expectations. I absolutely did not give a fuck about anything else you showed, Nintendo. I don't know why you spent 5 hours to fucking do it. The only saving grace about that was the fact that I was at fucking work and I was able to sit there, click on, see what the fuck was going on, and click off. If I was actually sitting there during that whole fucking time, I probably would have murdered everybody at my workplace. Look, I know Nintendo does their own thing, all right, and they've always done their own thing as far as like the way that they handle press conferences and stuff like that. And yeah, they haven't had a physical presence at E3 for a while, but for God's sake, please, if you're gonna sit there and you're gonna choose something to go out of your way and showcase, there's only so much fucking Pokemon that even the diehard Pokemon fans will take. Yeah. Right? If you have 3DS games and other things like that, wrap it up in a clean package. If there's something playable, show it off to us. Yeah. But don't sit there and say, we're going to take a short break and then disappear like you had to fucking pick up kids another county away to come back and fucking show what the fuck was going on, because that didn't make any fucking sense. All right.
Star Trek VR. Okay. Working on a bridge and stuff like that. And I'm like, they had LeVar Burton there, and they even have him coming out and sitting on the couch and talking for like what it seemed a fucking hour. So, look, if LeVar Burton would have bring out a VR Reading Rainbow game, okay, yeah, intro, 80s intro and all, maybe I would have been more interested. Even though Star Trek, even I think they're coming out with a new movie, and yeah, this is supposed to. But at the same time, it's all you're doing is navigating on the bridge. That's pretty much it. It's kind of like a Steel Battalion without the action. It kind of looked like that.
If it's a simulator, it's meant for different people. But I'll tell you honestly, he did have a Kickstarter for to bring Reading Rainbow back, and yes, I did support it. Just
No, I mean a game, a VR game.
But yeah, there's overall the funny thing about it is that overall, even with what we have to say and what we have to criticize, like I said, this particular E3 in general was rather surprising to me because
well, for two of the big three, yes.
Yeah. Well, just in general, because to be completely honest, I mentioned this before, I haven't been interested in the goings-ons of things that they've announced at E3 really ever since like 2005, 2006. Okay. Even with the amazing things that they announced, that Sony announced at E3 2015, I, by and large, if I sit there and consider the conference as a whole, I really didn't give a fuck about it. I mean, but this particular one, even with our criticisms, was actually pretty good. They gave me a reason to go ahead and consider maybe picking up an Xbox. But if I do, it's not going to be until 2017. Yes, Phil Spencer, you did that, okay? Maybe a PS4. And if I do, it's probably not going to be until 2017. Yes, Sony, you did that too.
Hey, now, wait a minute. Are you going to be picking up Neos and Scorpios? Or
I don't know. I think like at this moment, I might just, go ahead and down the red pill. Put me back up to the freaking machine. I don't care if the steak tastes like chicken.
No. Okay, look. There are a lot of brainwashed fanboys out there. And
that brings me to my very last thought. I see a lot of videos out there about who won E3. Fuck all you guys, okay? Seriously. All right. That was the one thing that we predicted was going to happen, and we said that many videos ago that we didn't want to fucking bother with that, okay? It boggles my mind the amount of fanboyism you got to sit there and go out of your way to say, oh, who won E3? I understand competition is a good thing. It drives industries and everything else, but this is a fucking press conference. I will be very honest in saying who impressed me, what press conference entertained me more or impressed me more than others, but there is no point of winning E3. All right, because the problem about the problem that bugged me about that every time is that last time I was at E3 physically, the booths that actually interested me more were the smaller publishers who were cubbyholed away from the main halls in the smaller corners and shit like that. They were the guys who interested me more. Guess what? They have no fucking chance to win E3.
People mainly pay attention to the big three. Yes, there's a Bethesda and Ubisoft and EA. Anyone that has a big conference, they throw that in the loop as well. I rated the conferences by what the conferences presented. It wasn't a Microsoft thing, a Sony thing, or a Nintendo thing. It wasn't anything about that. I rated the conference themselves. And what everybody has to understand, I don't play video game systems. I play video games. If I'm going to go to a gaming conference, then what interests me as far as what they show, and they have to keep that going. There can't be too much talking. There can't be shit that we saw last year, which two of the big three did that. And a lot of people don't want to admit it. Microsoft showed a lot of shit. No, most of that shit they said there was last year. And so did fucking Sony, with a couple of exceptions. But at the end of the day, the way they presented out their stuff was they surprised me. They even had me inching toward Xbox One a bit. because of what they showed. But then I retracted that when they're like, okay, Xbox Slim and then the Scorpio. And it's like, wait a second. So why the fuck should I get a Slim? That was my basic retraction. And it's like, what? The Scorpio, is that going to take 2 years? Or is it going to be 2017? And is it, I mean, damn, the Slim is going to be obsolete at that point. Even the regular Xbox One is going to be obsolete at that point. It's just...
Well, unfortunately, the way that they've mentioned things, that's pretty much what they said without saying it out loud. People just had to listen for it. What about you, Gray Mouse? What are your last thoughts as a whole for E3 2016?
It was a good E3.
Well, you got your wish with Zelda, and Zelda. But that's all Nintendo really had to offer. And I didn't understand that, especially when they have a new console coming up that everybody in the fucking gaming universe knows about. They needed to come out swinging as far as saying, this is the new console, and this, and all these motherfuckers are going to come back from third party, and that's going to be a part of our console. And that didn't happen, and that's what's really disappointing. Yes, there are other conferences that are going to be later on in the year, and most likely we'll cover those too, either individually or as the middle-aged guys. But my point is, there has to be more from Nintendo. Microsoft and Sony are going to come at it. They're going to come with it later on in the year. You're going to see it. You're going to see them announcing shit. You're going to see them like, hey, yeah. And they're going to be, they're going to come out with shit for VR. They're going to come out with shit for the console. More of their specs about their more powerful consoles is going to be coming out. So you'll expect from them. But Nintendo, they have to step it up, and they have to do that shit very soon. And this is coming from someone that grew up on Nintendo, that loves Nintendo games, and that wants to see more from Nintendo. So please, they have to do it.
Of course, I think all of us want all of the folks to succeed. That probably goes without saying, even with all of our harsh criticism. And with that, folks, we're going to go ahead and we're going to end this right here. Like I always say at the end of every video, if you're so kind, hit the like button, hit subscribe. If there's anything that we've missed, you think that we could go ahead and cover another video, leave a comment below. We'll make sure to respond back. We are the three middle-aged guys. Our bullshit cutting off right here. And the Reverend.
The theme here.
Gray Mouse 1.
Once again, for the benefits of common sense, logic, and gaming. Some conferences were good, some were bad. EA. Just come out with the games. Credits.